Hey guys, another podcast from Matt Z for the weekend, and today's topic is going to be a little bit deep. Might look a little bit flat on the surface, but trust me, it has a lot of depth. So the question that I have for you as a trader is whether you ever defined the business of trading or investing or day trading or anything in that category. And the reason that I'm saying that or asking you whether you defined it is because the definition in itself, the right definition, could potentially, in my opinion, avoid a lot of errors that you could do. Now, I'm not talking about definition of day trading according to Google or some other site, any investing site, a forum, trading, or anybody else who has defined it for you. But the question is, how did you define this business for you? So, when you said to trade, did you ever sit down, take a pen, and wrote to yourself, what is the definition of trading? Now, I know a lot of people probably didn't do it, and the truth is, I didn't do it myself, but I forced myself to do it along the way. I forced myself to think, what is the definition of trading? Now, to make your life a little bit harder, imagine you had to make a definition, and I want you to make that actual definition without using the words money, markets, trading, buy, sell, or anything that is even related to the market. So when you write this definition, it would not encompass any words that we use day to day as traders. And what you will end up with is probably the best definition that you can define to yourself as a trader. And it's difficult and it's challenging, because every time we define trading, we have to use, or we don't have to, but we're used to using terms that are markets related. But I set a goal of basically not addressing any of those things. And I came up with a definition for myself. If you go to community.optimusfutures.com, you will find a thread that I started. And I've asked the question, what is the definition of trading? I invite you to go to that page. Again, it's www.community.optimusfutures.com. Actually, you don't have to do the www. You can just go to community.optimusfutures.com, or if you put on Google Community Optimus Futures, it will take you to that page. And I really wanted to ask some of the people who participate in this forum, and at this point as we're growing this, there's not a lot, what is their definition? And some people threw a bunch of things which are really interesting, and I hope that you'll put your input as well. Those of you who will put the input, I'll give you 1 year free of charge of data over Optimus Flow, our platform. This is only for non-pro. So that means you have to have an account somewhere, and an account with us. So you won't be considered as a non-pro. But go there and basically write down your definition of trading. Again, what I'm trying to say is that I will give 1 year to somebody. It will be just one winner. I want to give the impression that I'll give it to anyone. But nevertheless, I want you to go and try and win it. And along the way, also write your definition of trading. When I sat down to write down my definition of trading, that, by the way, I will post on community.optimusfutures.com on that specific thread. So when I sat down to write down the definition, I had to think about all the elements that I go through when approaching a trade. What do I actually do? What goes on in my mind, the decisions I have to make, the final outcome that I'm looking for, and that helps me define exactly what I need to do. And I can't begin to tell you how important definitions are, because the way you define it for yourself is basically where you are looking for your edge. This is where you will exercise your strength. And my suggestion to you, honestly, when you write this definition, is first of all, don't even bother looking at what others wrote. And don't start Googling it and start putting things together and cutting and pasting sentences. You're only cheating yourself, because what you'll end up doing is basically imitating somebody else's style, imitating somebody else's thought process, and that in itself does not help you evolve. So when you write a definition, you actually evolve as a trader. So again, go to community.optimusfutures.com, find the thread about definition of trading, put your trade in there, and once you do that, you will have a chance to win 1 year of data by DXFeed. This is the company that we're working with, and our platform, Optimus Flow. Again, it's only for non-pros. It is easy to sit sometimes and listen to me talk here on the podcast as I explain things. But what I would like to do in the next episodes is basically challenge you as well and make you do some homework, because when you do this homework, it will actually help you evolve as a trader. Now, let me tell you this. You have to evolve as a trader. You have to always grow and understand the environment and what trading is all about. I've seen a lot of people that are in this market for a very, very long time, and they're so fascinated with the markets and fascinated with the movements of prices up and down that they completely forget that this business is one of the toughest businesses out there, and you need to define it for yourself. The more I read books about trading and markets and approaches, I find that finding yourself in this game is really one of the most important things. Finding your own style, finding your own markets that you want to trade, finding your own risk tolerance that you are looking for when you trade certain markets, and obviously the rewards that you want to reap out of the market. So again, define it. Doesn't matter if it will take you 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour. Sit there and define it. Define a market. Now, a definition is not one sentence. A definition can be 4 to 5 sentences, but at the same time, it's not an essay. So it has to be very concise. So here's the hint, okay, to make it the best for yourself. And it's actually very helpful. Decide what you actually do during the process of trading. Decide what good trading is about and what final outcome you're looking for. And that will help you get a good definition. This was a short podcast. Again, I will put my definition on community.optimusfutures.com, and this is where you want to go and take a look at it. And one last thing that I would tell you is that I'm not saying that my definition is the perfect one. What I'm saying that my definition is the one that fits my personality. This is how I learn the market. This is what I think about the markets. This is what I expect from the markets. And I just wrote down something that, again, where I challenged myself to remove a lot of trading related words. So somebody who reads my definition would actually not know specifically that it's about trading and could be applied in many fields in life. because I think the business of trading is very similar to many other things and yet so different. But at the end of the day, it's a business that requires a certain method or a certain way to go about it in order to be successful at it. So I'll end on that note. I wish you a really good weekend. I wish you all the best, and I'll see you on the next podcast. Thank you.